Good evening, my name is Keelan Smith, and today I will be presenting my literary analysis of the theme of Oedipus Rex. Oedipus Rex, also known as Oedipus the King, evolves into a murder mystery, a political thriller, and a psychological whodunit. Oedipus represents two enduring themes of dramatic Greek mythologies: the imperfect nature of the human race, and the role an individual in the course of destiny in a merciless universe. It is through this tale, strewn with patricide, incestuous relationships, and humorous back-and-forth arguments, that Sophocles emphasizes the irony of a man determined to track down and punish an assassin, which is later revealed to be himself. The conflict is revealed when Creon, Oedipus's brother-in-law and uncle, returns to the palace with information about the disasters plaguing their land from Apollo. To resolve the aforementioned misfortunes and completely ravaging their lands, they need to either exile or kill the one who murdered the previous king of Thebes, Laius, also Oedipus' father. In solving the mystery, they end up bringing shame upon the royal family in question and all those intimately involved with the crime, including the shepherd who delivered the baby and the oracle, Tiresias, who knows everything. It also ends with the suicide of Queen Jocasta and to King Oedipus stabbing out his eyeballs multiple times. Deemed one of the three classic tragedies from Athens, three great classical playwrights, Sophocles was born in Colonus, a village outside the walls of Athens, Greece, in 496 BCE to father Sophilius, a wealthy armor manufacturer, and an unknown mother, and died in the same place in 407 BC. Though fortunate enough to be born into an abundance of wealth and to have the means to achieve a high education, he became friends to many in higher places, also noted to be for his charm and appeasing physical appearance. Sophocles raised through the ranks of a Greek government with little to no pushback and was very popular amongst the citizens. He was even trusted with the financial reconstruction after losing a battle. Born into a time that made him both the younger contemporary of Aeschylus and the older contemporary of Euripides, both completing the classical tragedies. Playwrights in Athens made their rivalries become a force that pushed out many great plays. The most popular of Sophocles' playwrights, his first playwright in a trilogy about the focal character of the same name, Oedipus Rex, also known as Oedipus the King or Oedipus Tyrannos, has been a renowned classic in the literature world, because Antigone, the third in its trilogy, was believed to be written in 441 BC. Oedipus Rex is assumed to be written in around 430 BC. The playwright has influenced many theories and discussions over the years, but most notably is the theory by famous quack psychologist Sigmund Freud, came to be called the Oedipus complex. After the story, to describe the subconscious sexual and romantic feelings a male will come to harbor for their mother. Athens in the 5th century BC was a golden age of drama for Greece and around the world. The fact that Sophocles came to emerge as the most popular playwright among his contemporaries attests to his genius for moving audiences with powerful poetry and stagecraft. He wrote more than 120 plays, but only 7 complete tragedies survived the weathers of time: Ajax, Antigone, Electra, Oedipus the King, the Trichinae, Philoctetes, and Oedipus at Colonus. Perhaps someday the other lost plays will come to light, although highly unlikely. Sophocles' modern reputation rests on the 7 surviving plays. Of all the surviving plays, the tragedies of the Oedipus trilogy, Oedipus the King, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone, are the best known and most often reproduced. Although all 3 plays are part of the same story, Sophocles did not create them to be performed as a single theatrical production or in chronological order. Instead, the 3 tragedies represent separate dramas on related subjects. As it stands, many people choose to read the plays of the Oedipus trilogy in the chronological order of the story: Oedipus the King, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone, while others prefer the order in which Sophocles wrote them: Antigone, Oedipus the King, and Oedipus at Colonus, which is most likely the intended order. but in any directive, readers will remember the unique qualities in each drama, especially the important differences in character and tone. Despite being separated by countless years, the world we live in today and ancient Greece shares many common ideas. Although the story itself may have no relation in today's society, themes and values found in present day can be directly linked to this historical text. There are several interrelated universal themes in Oedipus Rex, such as the disregard of laws, skepticism for the truth, and how desperately humans tried to control their own fate, and the limits of free will that are very much so applicable in the examination of modern-day societal themes. Despite Sigmund Freud's popular theory, a third eye opens when we focus on the psychological implications of Sophocles' haunting story, rather than on Freud's theory or his errors. The real power of Oedipus Rex lies not in the fact that it illustrates the Oedipus complex, but that it depicts a troubling and seemingly universal dimension of human behavior. The way we unwittingly create fate that we fear and abhor. Oedipus, like most of us, in an attempt to outrun fate and make it his own, falls victim to what he so frantically strove to avoid. The audience can identify with Oedipus not because we wish to possess one parent and eliminate the other, Oedipus complex reference, but because we too end up precisely where we didn't want to be, like the woman who was abused as a child who chooses partners who mistreat her, or the boy who was witness to the prescription abuse taken apart by a parental figure who is in and out of sobriety programs and rehab later in his life as an adult. He makes those same mistakes repeatedly because that is all he knows. Oedipus illustrates how strong the magnetic pull is to repeat what we desperately wish to escape. Even to the untrained and ignorant eye, it would be nearly impossible to read Oedipus Rex and not admire the creativity that had gone into the planning and production of this playwright and the genius that it represents. For the play is to be written during ancient Greece times, it is surprisingly one of the easier to read historic texts out there. It puts Shakespeare to shame, and the drama included inside the text replicates something that you would see on Atlanta Housewives today. From beginning to end, the drama is nonstop, and the political mystery keeps you on the edge of your seat. Although reading it for the drama would be sufficient enough, you would go for the drama and stay for the many hidden messages inside the text. It is an immortal psychological thriller that deserves a spot in the memory of anyone who can appreciate literature. Thank you for listening to my presentation.